Marvel's Thunderbolts. This is the 36th film in the MCU. Say what you will about Marvel, but they've obviously stood the test of time. 36 movies in one franchise is absolutely nuts. So of those 36 movies, I've seen them all. I've seen all the movies. I've seen all the shows. I'm fully invested in this franchise. That said, post-Endgame, Marvel has been pretty hit and miss for me, to be honest. Nothing I've really loved, with the exception of maybe Shang-Chi or Guardians 3, Spider-Man, but there's a lot of movies I've been excited about that come out and I've just been left wanting more. But for whatever reason, Thunderbolts, when the trailers came out, they didn't look bad. I was actually kind of excited to see this movie. The trailers for this movie just kind of worked for me. I liked what they were doing. It seemed kind of different. This is kind of Marvel's answer to the Suicide Squad. Their version of that team, kind of just a team of kind of rejects, anti-heroes, villains turned good guy. So I went into this movie kind of cautiously optimistic. I thought it looked pretty good. I was hoping it would be good. But again, post-Endgame, these movies have been hit and missed. I've gone in very excited and left kind of disappointed. And after seeing Thunderbolts, I thought it was good. They do some really interesting things in this movie. They kind of handle some subject matter that is kind of different from Disney and Marvel to address. Obviously, you can tell from the trailers, they go a little bit into mental health and addiction. Obviously, if you know the history of Sentry, he deals with both of those things. Florence Pugh is kind of the main character of this movie. She does a great job. Obviously, it's her character, Yelena. But the standout to me is honestly David Harbour as Red Guardian. He was kind of the one thing that I really enjoyed about that Black Widow movie, and he brings that same energy back to Thunderbolts. He's kind of the comic relief, but his comedy in this movie isn't really forced. It really works in the movie. There is still some forced humor in the typical MCU fashion. Jokes that don't quite land, jokes that are kind of inserted and forced into the movie. They don't all hit, but honestly, for the most part, to my surprise, most of the humor did actually work for me. Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable about Sentry. I have a basic idea of like who he is, what his power set is, but I didn't read the comics. I'm not like super invested in that character. That being said, in the movie, I thought they did some really interesting things with him. Again, they really kind of use him as the vehicle to attack substance abuse and mental health. These are things that he deals with, and they kind of tackle it in some really interesting ways, particularly with the use of the Void. I really enjoyed how they used the Void character. I like the aesthetic of the Void. I thought that was really cool to see. Some of the CGI was a little wonky, a little video game-ish. But for the most part, I kind of liked what they did. I think maybe the character of Bob was a little underdeveloped. They didn't give him a ton to do. He was just kind of there to be the foil to the Thunderbolts. But I'm interested to see what they do with the character, where they go from here, and I'm glad they introduced him. I'd say for the first half of this movie, I was pretty invested. I was loving what I was seeing. They were doing some really different things. After about halfway through, the movie just kind of plateaued. I feel like nothing particularly exciting happened. The movie, it just wasn't really developing in a way that I wanted it to. Overall, I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it never really reached the heights that I kind of wanted it to. The action was okay, but again, nothing really exciting. No action set pieces that like really stood out to me as being terrific. I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic. Once it was over, you have the resolution with the Sentry character and the rest of the Thunderbolts, and then the movie is just kind of over. But overall, I mean, in a post-Endgame world, I think this movie is a win. It's a thumbs up. It's good. I didn't love it, but it was still pretty solid. I don't regret seeing this movie. I think it's definitely worth a watch if you're at all invested in the MCU or these movies, these shows. It's worth going to see. But those are just my thoughts. Hop down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. And with that, guys, I'm out of here.